Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We are live. This is a Wednesday afternoon drive-by here on Know the Ledge Radio. Shout out to the people. I know this is unexpected, but we drop unexpectedly like bird shit. So, hey, got some vital information, and we figured what better time but then in the now to bring this information to the world. All right, so I'm going to let y'all get your bearings together. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Okay, we in the building, and we got another special episode for you. All right, let me go live on Instagram and let the people over there know. All right, this is part of our KTL empowerment series. People have been asking about pertinent information, dealing with different different currencies, or to get more information, more updated information on what's going on in the currency market. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of money that's being moved around. A lot of people are losing their jobs, but a lot of people are making money from home. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have utilized this time to learn how to play the markets. You feel me? And if you have an education about how money moves and actually what money is or how to make money out of thin air, then you won't necessarily, right? You won't necessarily get trapped up like the rest of the majority of the people who only are depending on paycheck to paycheck, right? Shout out to the family who has forayed into Forex. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of the people out there who have forayed into Forex. And, shout out to the millennials in particular. Shout out to the brother Trav, Trillionaire, or Trillionaire Trav. Shout out to Trillionaire Trav. Shout out to the brother Chris Cole. There's a few other people in that particular space who have been showing people how to play the market. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's with the stocks or whether it's with Forex. Shout out to my brother Nadi. I know Nadi is doing something in the Forex space as well. Right? There's a lot of different people that are hitting different angles to pretty much do the knowledge on what exactly is taking place in the financial markets these days and finding out the best ways to play it. You know what I mean? And one of the most aggressive forms of currency that we see pretty much catching ground right now is Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency. Now, I know we have to continuously come back and do these programs because for whatever reason, a lot of people do not understand the ins and the outs of cryptocurrency. They don't understand the nuances of actually even what currency is and how do you make money out of thin air. You know what I'm saying? How do you make these digital devices called tokens and how is that equated to money? So there's been a lot of fluctuations in this particular space, in the Bitcoin space, in the cryptocurrency space, in the last few weeks. So I felt that it was necessary that we tap into one of the masters of that particular space, and we bring the brother forward with some of the latest and the greatest information dealing with whatever's going on in that cryptocurrency space. So our brother Chicago Crypto Hustler will be on the program very shortly. The Bitcoin Block Bully is in the building. So with no further ado, I want to open up the line and bring our guest for today's program through so he can inform us about the latest and the greatest innovative news pertaining to how you can line your pockets, right? And get ahead of the curve, because if you have not noticed, things are drastically changing, not only in this country, but around the globe, especially as it pertains to the financial markets. You can easily wake up one day and, a dollar bill can be worth a piece of toilet paper. That's a dream that I had. You know what I mean? That's a dream that I had. So, and I don't see that being a far-fetched reality. If we're talking about a fiat currency such as the dollar bill, you know, they say that the dollar bill, the fiat currency, the fact that it's not backed by anything tangible is backed by the faith of the people. But if the people have lost faith because the people are unemployed, 1 in 3 Americans are unemployed right now, right? There's 330 million people in this country, 100 million plus are not part of the workforce, part of the labor force. So if the faith of the people are no longer there, right? Double with the fact that they said that this is a petrodollar. If the petrol industry is bottoming out, right? Then what is sustaining and holding up this particular fiat currency? So it's not far fetched to say, look, there couldn't be a possibility where you wake up one day and the availability to this fiat currency is no longer available. Then what do we do? What do we do when we can't use the dollars in our pockets anymore? So it's important and it's imperative that we at least get a firm understanding as to what cryptocurrency is and all of the fluctuations that are taking place in that space right now. All right. So I want to bring on our brother Bitcoin Block Bully, Chicago cryptocurrency. All right. Let me see. Open up his line. Give me 1 second. If you're listening on Instagram, we are actually live streaming on Facebook as well. All right. And you can come over directly to YouTube and get this class in real time because the brother is going to be dropping some amazing information about the latest and the greatest information pertaining to the cryptocurrency space. Peace, love, and light, my brother.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Brother Blue?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can hear
How's
you.
everything going out there, man? How we going out to the gods, goddesses, kings, and queens? How the YouTube world doing? Facebook world? All the followers out there, all the entrepreneurs, all the cryptopreneurs. How's everybody feeling out there?
Thank you.
I hope all is truly well.
Everybody's good. I want to say thank you for joining us. I know the dedication that you put into your craft. You were up early mornings, you know what I'm saying, putting this work in. So to take a brief pause in what it is that you're doing to share some information with the people this afternoon and this morning, depending on where some people are tapping into and from, I want to say thank you. Salute you for everything that you do. And, you know, the resilience that you exemplify by never losing sight, you know what I'm saying, of the prize. You moved with it. I've seen you in up times, I've seen you in down times, and you still remain the Bitcoin block bully through it all. You know, I've never seen you fluctuate or sway this way or sway that way when the prices have been fluctuating on Bitcoin. So, you know, we find ourselves here today. There seems to be a lot of activity in the Bitcoin space. Can you start by telling people what the halving is?
Okay, yeah, definitely. Basically, when you look at the way that Satoshi Nakamoto, quote unquote, the individual or individuals that created the Bitcoin protocol, the way they coded it was mathematically to automatically take back half of the supply every 4 years. So you got this cycle every 4 years, whereas let's just imagine if right now half of the world's gold miners just shut down, right? Now you only got half of the supply of gold coming in to the world. What would that do to the demand of gold? Or what would you think it would do to the demand of gold if we don't have as much as before? Supply and demand, right?
Yeah, it will spike it, right?
Usually. So that's what individuals are looking for right now. What I want to tell any and everybody that's in earshot right now is that you really want to move in this space based off of strategic standpoint, technical standpoint, more so than a fundamental. Basically making financial decisions based off what the news may say or what this individual guru may say or that individual guru. My thing is getting down to the nitty gritty, doing your due diligence and understanding how to operate and orchestrate in this space on a personal level versus moving around with what the herd does. Because usually the herd will run you off a cliff if you're not careful. You know what I mean? Especially if you don't know in which direction that they're running, and you're just going off of market sentiment and what individuals believe may or may not happen. I've been getting a lot of calls over the last couple of days from individuals who have no type of interest in cryptocurrency, but are getting calls from individuals that are involved, and they're telling them, look, you need to buy Bitcoin now. It's halving, it's going back to 20,000. And it's that FOMO rhetoric. And for those that don't know, FOMO stands for the fear of missing out. Whereas basically individuals make emotional decisions when they're investing versus strategic decisions. So if somebody calls you and say, hey, I got a lick, this thing's gonna go up right now, go buy it, and you don't do any type of due diligence, back study, or anything research, that's called FOMO. Or when we see prices shooting up at an exponential rate and you based off of nothing at all, it's going up, I need to go buy it, that's FOMO. What you got to understand is that when prices really get to moving, it's being moved by individuals that have bought in earlier and are now usually looking to take profit from those that are going to jump in at the end. So that's where you see individuals that are new to the space coming in, and they usually do what we call a roller coaster, whereas the price goes up, they jump in, then the price dips down and they throw it all up because they got to give back their money because they don't understand the fluctuation of the asset that they're trading in. And they think that I'm gonna lose all my money, let me take it out now. One thing that I do want to make clear for individuals, if they can make the difference, is that when you're dealing with cryptocurrency, specifically these digital assets, the moment you make a transaction from fiat notes, from Federal Reserve notes, over to any digital asset, be it Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin, you now have that digital asset, and you'll hold that digital asset until you sell it. And what I mean by that is, as an example, let's say you did buy one Bitcoin at $10,000 and then Bitcoin sharply moved that back down to $8,000. An individual may think that they've lost $2,000, right? All in all, you still have that one BTC that you bought. So it's no different from buying a car and driving off the lot and the value of it dropping. You still have that vehicle. You know what I mean? Now you may be able to bring value back to that vehicle and sell it at a higher rate, but you didn't lose money like you would think that you lost money because you still have that asset. Now, when you sell it for less than you paid for it, then you've lost money. You know what I mean? So it's real important that you understand the space that you're in and the assets that you should be able to. Say it again, my brother.
So once you lose it, you lose it. But if you're holding on to the asset, it still has value, and that value deals with a level of fluctuation, right? So you technically can't tell what it's worth because it's an unstable asset that goes up and down based on markets.
Thank you. And that's one reason why I tell individuals that you can never say that you have $100 worth of Bitcoin. You know what I mean? You can never say that. You can say now, if you can, brother Blue Pill, could you share my screen? Let me bring something up for the family so I can give them a visual of what I want to show them real quick with the smaller denominations of Bitcoin. Yeah, the green one. Yep. All right. So what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna go ahead, take your time.
Now you got it. Is it sharing from where you at?
Hold on, let me take a look. Yep, it's sharing. So what we're gonna look at is the denomination. Go ahead. Blue, you still there? Okay. I don't know if the family can hear me or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and proceed and wait for Brother Blue to come back. But what we're looking at right here is a cryptocurrency converter calculator, which shows you the difference or the denominations of Bitcoin in fiat or Federal Reserve notes. Hold on, did he drop me?
Hello?
Okay, I see. You back in?
Yeah, we back in.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna share your screen for you, all right?
Okay. Let me know when I'm up and running and sharing. That way I know to take off.
Yep.
We all good?
Yep. Should be good.
All right, cool.
Yep.
All right. So what the family is looking at right now, what should be up on the screen is a cryptocurrency converter. And in that cryptocurrency converter, what our input is, oh, hold on. Let me see. Let me make sure. Okay. All right. So what you're looking at right now is $100 worth of Bitcoin. So if you were to purchase BTC right now, what you would actually be purchasing is 0.01097013 BTC. Now, when we look at the denominations of Bitcoin versus the US dollar is broken down into 2 decimal points. So you got the 10 spot, the 1 spot, the 10 spot, and then the 100 spot. When you get to the 100 spot, which is 100 pennies, you get your $1. Bitcoin, essentially, you want to look at it in the same capacity, whereas it takes 100 pennies to make $1. So the penny is the smallest denomination of a dollar. With Bitcoin, you have what are known as Satoshi or Sats, SATS, which are the smallest denominations of Bitcoin. So just like it takes 100 pennies to make $1, it takes 100 million Satoshis to make 1 Bitcoin. So when you look at the smaller denominations of Bitcoin, and I'm saying that I'm purchasing $100 worth of Bitcoin right now, what I'm really purchasing is, and to make it easier, you want to read it in Satoshis like you would read dollars, so you would read it from right to left. So we got our 1 spot, our 10 spot, our 100 spot, so that's 943. Then you got your 1,000 spot, so that's 99,943, right? And then you got your million spot.
Hold on. I don't, from my purview, I can't see the screen that you're sharing. I don't know if anybody else, from where they're at, are you seeing the screen from where you at?
Hold on.
Because to me, it just looks like the screen is like.
What? Let me see. I got my screen share on. Hold on. Let me go on to YouTube and see what it looks like. Hold on.
Yeah, I took it off. I don't know if I was. I was probably screen sharing.
Oh no, you know what it is? Okay.
So
you know what? It was showing it for a split second. You had it up there showing it. There it is. That's it right there. You with me now?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. Can the family see the screen? Can you get any feedback from the family? Let me know if they can see everything.
Yeah, I can see it. So family in the queue, let me know if y'all can see it on y'all end. Yeah, they said they could see it.
Okay, all right, let me proceed and let me start over. So when you look at the denominations of the dollar,
I'm sorry. No, I was talking to Instagram.
Okay, no problem. When you look at the dollar denominations or the numerical dollar denominations of the dollar versus the Bitcoin, the dollar is broke down into 2 decimal points. So the smallest denomination of a dollar is a penny. So it takes 100 pennies to make every $1. Bitcoin is broke down into 100 millionth of the Bitcoin. So you have 100 million Satoshis equaling to 1 Bitcoin. So when you look at it as a digital asset and as you being ownership of that digital asset, it's not that I have $100 worth of Bitcoin. It's that right now I'm holding on to 1,099,943 Satoshis worth of Bitcoin. And that denomination will never, ever change. So in 1 second, it could be $98, it could be $105. You get what I mean? But I'll always have 1,099,943 Satoshis worth of a Bitcoin. That will never change no matter what the dollar denomination is. But where the Bitcoin was trading at 9,000 or 4,000, I'm always going to have the same amount of assets that I bought in the beginning. Now, what happens is if the price drops and I get scared and I sell it, right? I sell my 1,099,943 Satoshi, and then the price starts to go up. Now I have to come out of pocket to buy less of what I just sold. You understand what I mean? So it really defeats the purpose if you're looking at this from a long-term perspective. And I just want to put it out there that my perspective on this isn't today or tomorrow. I'm not looking to become a millionaire over the next, even though I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. But I'm not looking for that per se. My outlook is the next 5 to 10, 50 to 100 years with it. That's my purview, and that's how I'm getting myself prepared for, because this is something that I'm going to utilize to pass down generational wealth through the use of digitization and tokenization of assets. That's the way that I'm looking at this. So it's not so much that I'm gonna buy Bitcoin now where we at right now at 9,100, and then when Bitcoin gets to 20,000, I'm gonna sell it. In my opinion, that would be a foolish move. Looking at it, whereas we got certain hedge fund managers and individuals who, do have the big names saying that they're looking for Bitcoin to go to 50,000 and 100,000. To be honest with you, if we look at Bitcoin going to be the new currency, and we look at a Satoshi at least, we'll say being $1 worth, you can look at Bitcoin almost going up to being $100 million then, because it takes 100 million Satoshis to make every one Bitcoin, right? So if Bitcoin is going to be the means of exchange, then mathematically you can look at it saying, okay, this could be $100 million one day, or $100,000 one day. Hello?
Right. Yeah. No, I said your audio drifted for a second, but you're back.
Okay, cool.
You mentioned something about wealth, right? And I wanted you to explain to the people, how you've taught this to your children, and your children are even teaching it. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, definitely. Back when I first got into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency specifically from a financial aspect in 2017, I was able to learn it in a way enough to pass down the information to my 10-year-old son, to the fact that by the time my son was 11 years old, he was able to create his own YouTube channel, which I'm gonna pull up for the family now, and show individuals how he himself was investing in cryptocurrency at the age of 11, doing his own YouTube channels, doing his own reinvestments, and articulating himself very well to be that age, and walking the individual through each step of what he was doing. You know what I mean? That's why I tell individuals that this isn't as hard as you may think that it is. You know what I mean? It's not that hard. It's all about the mental blockage that you may have, whereas everything is subliminal. So if you overcomplicate it in the mind, then naturally you're going to come at it through complicated lens. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So when you step into this, you really don't want to step into this under the guise of, okay, this is this new hard fandangled technological. It ain't none of that. This is no different from hustling. For anybody that's out there that comes from a hustling background, that really knows how to get money on their own, like this would be like a playground to you if you could just learn the terminology. That's once you're able to get the terminology and the principles, because that's where we get stuck even in the traditional world right now. We use terms and words that we aren't familiar with totally, so that it goes over our head when people are talking to us about financial aspects of life, be it contracts or anything like that, even signing mortgages, any type of contract. We really don't understand the commercial transactions that may be taking place, even when you spend $1. When you understand that the Federal Reserve note is actually a promissory note and it's a debtor's note, and that when you actually spend it, you're not actually spending something. You're just offsetting the discharging the debt that was originally there. Everything in the United States is already prepaid. So when you offset that note for it, all you're doing is discharging the debt, and you're getting something that you don't really truly own, but you're able to control and have usage of. As an example, when you buy a vehicle, people think that you get the title, but you don't. You get the certificate of title. If you look at the top, it's telling you you're not given the title because you don't own it, because you didn't give anything of value for it. You gave debt notes for it, so you'll never truly own it. But this is my son's page. He hasn't been on here in a couple of years. He ended up moving with his mother, so the disconnect was there, but the information is still there. No matter what, my daughter has her own account, which I've shown videos of her transacting and going back and forth. If we go in here real quick. Now, the platform that he is using, I will let individuals know it did end up closing up. And some people said it was a scam. Some people said it wasn't. That doesn't change the fact that my son was making a $1,000 reinvestment on his own that he grew from $500. You know what I mean? And he was doing this totally on his own at the time. So much more than the fact that the platform may have closed up, so many months later, is the fact that he was able to get the information and orchestrate on this at that age level, where it's individuals that, trump him on the age level. They don't know what the heck he's talking about. I used to get in his head like, man, bro, you know more than what your principals, your teachers, all these other people know. So use it to your advantage. You know what I mean? I'm giving you the keys right now where you'll never have to work. And that's for anybody. If you can understand the financial system and how to utilize it, I promise you'll be able to attract the funds that you be looking for versus you trying to chase the fund. When you even look at cryptocurrency, a lot of people think that you just come in and you buy these things when it's. Go ahead, brother. My fault.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I was going to get into price action,
Go ahead,
and you know, the biggest thing that individuals like to ask is, you know, when do I buy and when do I sell? You really don't know that based off of any type of hearsay or anything. You got to really go into this thing and start operating with the charts. The charts, this right here is like the key to everything. Supreme mathematics is what I call it. I also look at it as creating art, because that's really what I do over here. When you look at an asset, no matter what asset it is, I mean, we can look at Nike right now if we wanted to, right? It's not just cryptocurrency. When you learn how to read the charts, it opens up the ability for you to chart any tradable asset that's out there. We can look at the real estate investment trust and see exactly how that's going. Where's the Dow Jones? Here we go. And what's interesting about this, if you go back and look at about 2 days before the whole economy crashed, I did a live feed and I showed individual these charts and how they were buying not just the real estate, but the other stocks at the highest prices they've ever been. And I was letting them know, like, why would you buy something that's never been at the price that it is with expectations to sell it at a price that it's never been to? You understand what I mean? Usually the name of the game is to buy low and sell high. And the individuals that were just coming into this game right now were buying everything at their heights. And I was telling people, like, this isn't the time to buy right now. And 2 days later, the ass fell out of it. You know what I mean? People say that it's starting to recover now and everybody's rushing and saying, hey, now is the best time to buy. Now is the best time to buy. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, and my opinion don't mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. You got to do your own due diligence. But, I mean, we just went on a 10-year bull market. A 10-year bull market. For you to think this thing's going to dip down in 2 or 3 months, the economy, nobody's working, they're giving out all this free money because of quantitative easing, and they think this thing is just going to bounce right back to where it came from, in my opinion, you're sadly mistaken. And all you're doing is just buying into what these people want you to buy into so they can sell it. Individuals with 401ks, you definitely want to check out what's going on with your 401ks. See how they're operating. A lot of times we have investments out here and we don't even know how they orchestrate or operate. We're just letting individuals out here trade our money and do whatever we want with it. And at the end of the day, they don't got to take that loss. How you know they're not offloading they bogus stocks into your portfolio? You know what I mean? It's just about getting that financial literacy and being able to have an understanding of how these markets work and fluctuate. So when we get back to Bitcoin, right? And at any time, brother Blue Pill, you know my mouth can go 100 miles an hour. Let me know if I need to slow down. If anybody listening, I need to slow down. Just let me know, all right?
You good. I just, I wanted to ask you, based on your purview and what it is that you're observing, for you to make, some predictions in terms of what it is that you see, what's taking place with these markets, what looks bad, what looks good, but I mean, you're methodically doing that, you know what I'm saying, as you piece it together and go along. So,
Got you. So let's use Bitcoin, for instance, right? You want to know when to buy and when to sell Bitcoin. One of the easiest ways to do that is by utilizing support and resistance. Support you can look at as a floor that you're able to stand on where price action meets it and it's able to repel it to the upside. Resistance is looked at as a ceiling that when you hit it, when you hit your head on it, it knocks you back down. So the first thing you want to look for in some aspects is where is your support and where is your resistance. We can see off top within this daily chart. And I'm gonna fast forward a whole bunch of things, but we're looking at a daily chart with Bitcoin. These red and green blocks right here, or rectangles, these are called candlesticks. Candlesticks represent a specific price action or represent price action within a specific time. Right now, we're looking at daily candlesticks. So each one of these candlesticks represent 24 hours worth of price action. And at any given time, I can land on it and I can look and see, okay, on the 12th of March, 2020, we opened at $7,938 when as high as $7,969, when as low as $4,646, and then closed at $4,857 for a total loss of $3,080 and 38.81%. That was a hell of a drop. But how could you have prepared yourself for a drop like that? In my opinion, it's through the use of technical analysis. One that I'm actually going to share with the family that I think I've shared before on different interviews I've done. I don't know if I've done it here, but for those that come from a holistic background and understand the chakras within the body, I'm going to show you an indicator that you can utilize that will allow you to trade with that understanding of how the chakras work. Now I'm going to color code it. Let me see. Let me see. Trying to make sure I get the right one up here. Okay, so yeah, this is it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to use these moving averages. Moving averages are made up of mathematical equations which equate to the closing prices over a certain amount of days divided by that certain amount of days. Certain moving averages that I like to use are the 7, the 14, the 21, the 55, and the 100-day moving average, sometimes the 200-day moving average. And I utilize these and they work as support and resistance levels. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to color code them in accordance to the chakras in the body so I can explain it almost from the level of meditating when the body is at unrest and what happens when you focus on the root chakra and shoot the kundalini energy up through the spine to the crown chakra. I'm gonna explain that from that aspect but on a trader's way, if you can believe it. So let me go over here and play with these numbers real quick. Still with me, Blue Pill?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We got any questions coming in from the family right now? Anything that I can answer while I'm putting this together?
Not right this second.
Okay.
I do have some questions coming in. Is the wallets important to store coins that you bought?
Yeah, wallets are definitely important. One thing you want to be careful of are centralized wallets versus decentralized wallets. So individuals that are buying Bitcoin on certain platforms such as Coinbase, Gemini, Cash App, I want you to understand that if you do not own the private keys to those wallets, you do not own the cryptocurrency that's held within those wallets, not your keys, not your coins. Meaning that at any time, those platforms can lock, fold, hold, or do whatever they want with those funds, just like the bank once you give over custody to the Federal Reserve. So if you don't have a private key to the wallet, you don't own the coin.
Right.
Okay, so
I got some more questions.
okay.
Somebody said somebody asked, what's your opinion on Brian Brooks, the new OCC?
None. Not familiar with him. I have to research to see who he is.
Someone asked,
Names that, in fact, is that the individual? If I'm not mistaken, that's the individual that they just hired from Coinbase, who was I think he was a chief executive at Coinbase, which is one of the biggest cryptocurrency platforms in America. And he just got appointed to, I believe, seat. I think Munich just appointed him, if I'm not mistaken, if that's the individual he's speaking on. I may be wrong though. So real quick with this demonstration, right? Go ahead.
Somebody said, what is an example of a private key for a wallet?
A private key is an alphanumerical code that you get once you open up a wallet. So for example, once you, if anybody wants to right now, you can go to your app store and look for, and this is a real reputable wallet, look for the Trust Wallet. Remember, everything is about trust. Everything should be held in trust. So they got a Trust Wallet where you're able to hold your digital assets at. Download that Trust Wallet. When you download that Trust Wallet, it's going to give you a 12-word seed phrase. You're the only individual in the world that has that 12-word seed phrase. Don't lose it. It's the equivalent to your private key. It's the equivalent to your private key, but your private key is about a 16 to 32 alphanumerical code that only you hold, and that's the way that you gain access to your wallet. When you do take full responsibility and start opening up these wallets that you're giving the private keys to, that you hold, like I say, not like Cash App, not like Coinbase, not like Gemini, you lose those keys, you do lose access to your funds. This isn't like Facebook or YouTube or Instagram where you can say, hey, I forgot my password, can you reset it? There is no reset button. So the responsibility levels are real high. That's why you see a lot of custodian platforms or custodian groups starting to pop up that are taking over accounts for individuals that bank with Fidelity. JP Morgan just picked up Coinbase and a couple of other cryptocurrency platforms because the pressure of having, 100,000, 100 million, a couple $1 billion in cryptocurrency and it being solely resting on these couple of words that you have is a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? So a lot of times individuals look for that custodian to take over when they can self-custodian their own assets. I don't know if that was explained it enough. Hello? Still with me, brother Blue? Let me see, did it drop? Family, let me know if I drop. Yo, Blue. Okay, he dropped. I'm still on. All right, well, let me proceed. So what we're looking at right now is Bitcoin on a daily chart, and I'm using a certain level of certain levels of moving averages for me to predict when to buy in and when to sell, right? So if you're looking at, let me change this color. That'd be the what did that be? That'd be the root, the sacral, the solar plex. I don't use the heart, so that'd be the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra. Okay. The color may be off a little bit. But the way you want to look at this, right, is that anytime Bitcoin is in a downtrend, let's say you were looking at this and November 2019, and you think that all the chakras lined up, right? You got your root, sacral, solar plex. Where is it at? Throat, root, sacral, solar plex, throat. Where is my 21 though? Hold on, let me see. Let me see. What did I may have put this way off. Let me see. Okay, yeah, there we go. There it goes. All right. My apologies, family. So we got our root, sacral, solar plex, throat, third eye, and crown chakra, right? So anytime price action is in a downtrend, all those chakras are going to line up perfectly. Let me do this. Let me get rid of the price action for you, right? It's going to line up perfectly. What happens is that's a sign that you need to meditate and start raising that Kundalini energy. So what you look for on a position to enter is when that root chakra starts crashing over the solar plex and the sacral chakra. Once it starts crossing over the throat chakra, now you got something to talk about. Once it crosses over that third eye, then you want to start looking at it. Once it crosses over that crown, you already want to be enlightened to be in your position and start taking profit off. So what do you want to look for on a sell side? And these are lagging indicators, but you will use to learn them. On a sell side is when you start losing that energy, because once you get full enlightenment, now you're in profit, right? So you're looking at that root chakra and it starts to cross over. So now you're losing that energy. You're losing momentum. It starts to cross over the sacral, then the solar plex. Usually you want to get out of position there. So utilizing these moving averages, you would have entered somewhere around maybe 7,900 and then been exiting around maybe 96, anywhere between 96 and 9,800. You with me? Everybody with me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. So then we put the price back on, right? That means you exit around here. That means you miss all this because you're looking for an entry, or you're not looking for an entry until that root chakra starts crossing back over that solar plex again, right? And that doesn't start happening until you start crossing back over around 6,500, which you've crossed over, and you have not crossed back over. If we look at prior price action right now, you haven't even crossed back over the sacral or the solar plex again. So you would still have your entry on, meaning you would have entered anywhere between 67 and 6,800, and now you be in profit sitting at $9,000. Everybody with me?
Yeah, yeah, we with you.
Okay, cool. But that's one way where you make your predictions. You know what I mean? It's just based off of I don't, the news may say this, it may say that. News told you to buy Ripple when Ripple was $3. Let me show you something. This is one of the coins that a lot of individuals ask me about just coming into the market because it's one of the, I guess, best known or one of the highly favored. But if you look at Ripple over a 3-year span, hold on, let me pull it up. And this is nothing against Ripple. I feel that Ripple is a decent cryptocurrency, but I like to base my decisions off of the past performance of an asset. So if we look at, let me see, is it Bitstamp that got the most life? Okay, there we go. This is 2017. This is when everything went bonkers, and this is all everybody really understands about crypto. fact, before we go there, let me show people something real quick, because a lot of people got a lot of naysayers and they like to say, oh, Bitcoin, that thing crashed and all this and all that, but no one's ever really seen the full chart on Bitcoin, right? So I'm gonna show you something real quick. And I'm gonna show you what everybody talks about when they talk about the crash on Bitcoin. Let me clear some of this up real quick. Open that up. Let me put this on a monthly. All right. This is Bitcoin in its entirety. This is when Bitcoin was $3. This is Bitcoin at $20,000. When people talk about Bitcoin crashing, Blue, let me show you something. They're talking about this tiny piece of history right here. This is Bitcoin. This is the crash everybody talks about. Tiny piece of history right here. So I hope that the viewers are looking at this right now so they can get a better view of what people call a crash.
Yeah.
You know,
that don't look like a crash to me. That's like a dip.
A small dip, to which we dipped down to around 3,100 and then came back to $14,000. So it's all about you being able to ride these waves and understand the waves to ride and not going, like I say, with what the herd may tell you. So when we look at Ripple, right, XRP started out good. 2017, it ran up, but then if you look at the chart from 2017 leading up to now, Ripple has had 3 consecutive years of losses. That means investors have lost funds 3 years in a row, going on your 4th year. It has not made a higher high since 2017. You understand? But you going off the what people say, and Ripple's working with the banks and the Western Union, and let me show you what Western Union looks like. And I've actually compared these two because it's real interesting. Let me see. Where they at? There we go. They just took a nasty dip. Put it on a weekly. This is 2020. Oh, they did start coming back. They was doing trash for a second, but back to XRP though. It's not about the news, family. It's not about the partnerships. Not now. It's too early in the space. This is really still built mostly off of speculation. Though I will give certain cryptocurrencies their kudos. When we look at cryptocurrencies such as Ethereum, right? Ethereum gives you the advantage of tokenizing physical assets, one of which is real estate. What we're looking at right now is a company that I'm pretty sure everyone has heard about the story of Detroit and how to who was it? The mayor Kwame? Was it Kwame that bankrupted Detroit?
Kwame Kilpatrick, yeah.
Right. So obviously what these individuals did is they went and they bought up a lot of the property in Detroit and they tokenized it. So these are ERC20 tokens that are built on the Ethereum blockchain that represent properties in Detroit, which mostly are sold out now. You got a couple of availables, but this is what's going on in the cryptocurrency space, family. So anyone telling you that this shit is a joke, let me say this. When this Corona thing hit and the economy crashed, and I mean, let me not say no one, but a majority of people lost jobs. If this was some like joke, it was an experiment, it was hee ha ha, it was good while it lasted. I'm gonna tell you something, man. A lot of this money should have left Bitcoin. Really, a majority of it. It should have pulled. I mean, if you want to look at it, the world is ending, right? Who wants to play with a speculative currency if the world is ending? But what I'm seeing, right? If we let the chart speak to us, I see Bitcoin coming back stronger than ever. You know what I mean? I mean, we dipped down to 5,000. We almost back up half our money already. Almost 100% return.
So it's on an upward trajectory.
Yes, sir.
Right, that's what the chart says.
Sir. And if we, let me see, another tool I like to utilize. Where it is.
Now, somebody said something very interesting, and I think that this is a lot of people's innate fear. They said until the internet shuts down. You know, what are your thoughts on that? How do you stabilize a digital currency without access to a digital network?
Well, they do have, and they have created already ways that you can move Bitcoin around without the internet. Let me say this to that though. The financial system as we know it right now runs on the internet. These are facts. Your banking system, it runs on the internet. There's nobody taking notes about any of this anymore. Say it again.
Right. No. I just asked you to repeat yourself.
Oh, the current financial system that y'all use with paper money, debit card, credit, all that runs on the internet. If the internet goes kaput, all that goes kaput. Like that's people don't really understand that without that system backing everything up, you're not going to be able to go out and spend dollars without the internet. I'm sorry. Everything you do, every single financial transaction that you do with a Federal Reserve note is just a physical representation of the digital transaction that goes on in the back. Everything is digital. Everything is digital. So when you talk about the internet crashing and what's going to happen to Bitcoin, what's going to happen to your financial system with the internet crash? It's going down with it. So if you're banking on not just digital assets, you want to back that up with physical assets, gold, silver, right? Food, seeds. I'm gonna tell you right now, seeds are going to be a new form of currency as well.
That's a fact. Shout out to Ross Ben, you know, and I was thinking about this last night. You know, I was like, I gotta bring Ross Ben back. When Ross Ben did a show with us about the first great conjunction of this year, which was January 12th, he made a prediction based on what he was able to gauge by reading the stars, right? What were the stars? What was the planet saying? The planets were saying that in the first great conjunction, like I said, which was on January 12th, it would be an economic reset where it was all about controlling Earth's resources. So he was saying that there's going to be, you know, currency exchanges. A new currency will emerge. At that point, when he did the show, he made a prediction that it probably would be quartz or some form of stone or crystal. You know, but it is very looking to be that it's going to be food. It's going to be seeds. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the new. That's going to be the new currency.
Now, this is the thing. This is where blockchain and cryptocurrency comes in. Even if you do have those physical assets, right? The easiest way for you to transact and barter with them, especially cross-border, is going to be through the use of blockchain. If we do have if the internet system is running and all that in the new world or whatever, this is going to be what's utilized. I mean, I show people.
Yeah, that's fact. And you know, we ain't got to talk too much about our joint ventures, but you know, family, we are on pace. We are developing that system.
Oh, it's being put together. Best believe that. It's a lot of building that's going to go on in this space. I got a lot of things up my sleeve. I just haven't presented them yet. You know what I mean? But it's a lot deeper than what individuals think in this space. It's not. Let me tell you this first off. It's not just about buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not the only thing that's going on over here. Number one. You know what I mean? It's a whole banking system that is operating over here, whereas you are able to be sovereign in your commercial affairs where you really don't have to deal with more traditional system. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wanted to speak to you about that as well, because you do understand, you know, the nuances of autonomy and sovereignty and things of that nature, especially when Moors were teaching people about what exactly these financial instruments are. You know, so I want you to speak on the availability now of, you know, utilizing different instruments where the people can actually be autonomous, or what they call quote unquote sovereign.
I got you. Let me get something pulled up over here. What I'm gonna introduce the family to is a live digital savings account. Let me get this pulled up real quick. And what you're able to do with these savings accounts are make deposits and then use those deposits as securities and or as in the capacity of a bond and actually withdraw debt from it. So your savings deposit is securitized and collateralized, and you're able to withdraw access to capital from it. Now, this is done completely on the blockchain, and it is done completely private and autonomous, to whereas there is no name, ID, age restriction. Any and everybody can utilize a number of these services. I was going through a platform or through a class last night and showing an individual, this is somebody that opened up one of these accounts and they actually grew their account and was loaning themselves the funds to help grow their account strictly on their own. This was August 27th, 2018. They started with 8.16 Ethereum, which is trading at around $260 at the time, and they withdrew $300. Anytime you see a draw, that's them withdrawing money based off of the collateral that they put in there. So let me paint a picture for you real quick, Blue. Let's say I start with a $1,000 account. With that $1,000 account, what I do is I make my deposit, right? I got a savings deposit. I make that deposit, I'm gaining interest off that money.
Right.
Now, the thing about this interest, the thing I want individuals to know about this interest is that this interest is paid out every time an Ethereum block is mined, meaning that you're going to get a payout every couple of seconds. So what you're going to see here on the left-hand side on the supply balance, which this is a live account that has 890 equivalent notes in it, and there's been a loan taken out of 270, right? So what you're seeing right there, I just got interest paid into the account. Now, you also pay an interest on the loans. Right now, I'm at a negative 2.8. So that means I'm paying 2.8% on my loan, which if you look at the loans that you take in any traditional system, they're 5, 10, 15, 20, 25%. You know what I mean? Now, the thing about the collateral that I'm holding in my savings account is that the collateral has the ability to double and triple on its own. It's not just stabilized, though I do have stable currencies being held. So what you're seeing here now, I got basic attention token, which actually isn't even being used as collateral. So I'm gonna be able to do a live. Let me do this real quick. What you're seeing right now was a savings account that I'm able to pull collateral from. I got a borrowing limit right now of $594, meaning I can borrow up to $594 based off the deposit that I have in here. Now, this loan that I'm taking, nobody can deny me for. I'm taking it off against myself based off the collateral that I've deposited in. Once again, I've done this without name, ID, any type of legal framework or red tape that it stop anybody from opening one of these money markets, which if we look at, I'll bring the definition of it up in a minute. But as of right now, I'm only using 2 of my assets as collateral. Right here, I got about $100 worth of basic attention token. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add that on as collateral. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable it. That involves the transaction fee, which right now is 69 cents. I don't know if the family can see all that. I'm going to confirm that. And now what's going on is a transaction is being done in the background on the blockchain to whereas they are allowing my savings, even though I'm getting interest paid on it, I wasn't using it as collateral because you do have the option to use it as collateral or not use it as collateral. So what I'm choosing to do is use it as collateral, and I'm going to be able to withdraw funds based off of that collateral that I'm putting in the account. So let's give it an example, Blue. Let's say that we each got $1,000. Now, let's say we got 5 partners. We each got $2,000, right? That's $10,000. We need $5 grand to go place down on this property or on this venture, right? Instead of us actually coming out of pocket and spending the $5 grand, why don't we collateralize the whole 10 grand, loan ourselves the $5 grand, let the 10 grand gain interest for us, build off this $5 grand, and then pay the loan back whenever we get the chance? Because there's no duration on these loans. We put the loan out against ourselves, so we're not pressured into, damn, when do we got to pay it back? You know what I mean? Now, all the time while we got that loan out, remember that original 10,000 is gaining interest for us every 15 seconds, which may seem like a little too much for some people, but when you understand the mathematics and the code that this is built off, it all makes sense. Looking at it just freely and like, okay, this doesn't seem like too much or whatever the case may be. Now I have a balance of $653, which I can gain access to capital. Now, this is another thing. I can also take these and I can go to a platform that will allow me to play with anywhere from 2 to 3x leverage. So let's put it in another perspective. Let's say I open up $1,000 savings account, right? I loan myself 10% of that, which is $100. I take that $100 and I put it on the platform, which allows me 10x leverage, which gives me a $900 line of credit based off that $100. Now I'm back trading with $1,000 without touching my $1,000, only losing or risking the possibility of loss of $100. You with me?
What?
Let me see.
That's the game.
That's what I'm saying. This is a playground for anyone that knows how to play with. Man, that really knows how to play. This is a playground. This is a playground. Then you got token sets, which are ERC20 tokens that represent a specific trading strategy. Let me go to robo sets. One such strategy that they've built into it is the fact that it trades pretty much based off of the example that I was giving you with the moving averages. So right here we got the ETH 20-day moving average crossover yield set, right? And as I'm gonna show you physically what they're saying and how it works. So the ETH 20-day EMA crossover or MA crossover yield set attempts to capitalize in short-term trends and accumulate Ethereum. The ETH copay automatically triggers rebalances, meaning that it's going to rebalance itself when the price of Ethereum crosses the 20-day simple moving average. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put on Ethereum versus the dollar. And I'm going to put on a 20-day moving average for you real quick so I can explain exactly how this thing, well, I got a 20. Yep, I got one on there already because I did this last night. Okay, cool. So this right here is a 20-day moving average, this red line. These candlesticks are price action. This is Ethereum, right? It automatically rebalances when the price of Ethereum crosses the 20-day simple moving average, indicating a trend reversal, meaning that the trend is going to change from up to down or down to up. Now, this is the part. If the price of Ethereum crosses and stays below the 20-day moving average, the set rebalances from ETH into compound United States dollar coin and automatically accrues interest on your cash when the market is bearish. Meaning that if we go back and we look at the example, anytime price action crosses over this red line, it buys Ethereum for you. So you bought Ethereum at $132, but it's also represented as the price of the token. So when you look at the price of the token right now being $411, it wasn't $411 when it first started. That's grown because the asset itself is. But using the example, it would have bought in for you right here. Now, when you cross back over the 20-day moving average and you stay below that, most likely on this retest, what it does is it knocks you out. So you buy in at 130 and you end up cashing out around $245. Now, while it's below this red line, it knocks you out into stable coin or in the dollars, stable dollars, meaning that whatever you had is going to stabilize it so you stop losing. Not only is it going to stabilize it, you're going to gain the whole time you're under this red line until you cross back over and it buys for you. So it's trading automatically for you through the use of code and the ERC20 compatible token.
Right. It's crazy.
So it's automatic asset management, all run on the blockchain. Once again, through the use of Ethereum. Over here, we got the OpenSea, which allows you access to a number of different NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens, which you already know we've been putting our brain power to. You can create your own marketplace over here if you want to create your own non-fungible tokens, which are baseball cards. They've done picture, man, number of things, art, video games. In fact, for the parents out there, I'll share this before. I do use this. This is very, very, very helpful for your understanding and your child's understanding. So I would actually advise individuals download this and utilize this and get to learn with this. Let me pull it up for you real quick. This allows you to set up with your child, because you both got to download the app and they base theirs off of what information you put on yours, but they're able to do certain chores around the house and you pay them with cryptocurrency. Now, the thing about it is that this wallet automatically gives you the cryptocurrency to pay them. So it's like a child's piggy bank, but it's a digital wallet.
Right.
And it's called Pixby. So if people want to run and download this and check it out, this is a nice, easy introduction to cryptocurrency. Now, the payments are made in Euro dollars, but that's little to no difference. You can transact and send them out and stuff. Let me see. What other way can I go? We did the real estate, automatic. I don't know. We got any questions that have been coming through, Brother Phil?
People just blown away. So for the most part, they just taking it all in.
Got you.
When are we gonna set up the courses and teach these classes? I do want to announce to the family that we are working on, the brother having his channel on Netflix. All right, so family can definitely stay tuned into that and go over there and subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely want to tap into Netflix, and he'll have a channel up there, and we'll be able to walk people through this as a school. Now, I mean, there's just so many ways, so many options to show the family that now more so than ever, we have within our possession all of the tools to do for self, right? We're showing you the alternative housing markets in terms of, look, you can pay for course and build out your dream home for roughly around $10,000 now. All you got to do is have access to the land. And then we're showing you how we can cultivate the land and create our own food source, and it being a superior food source, something that we can secure year round with greenhouses. Now we have a financial system. So not only are you not paying a mortgage, you know, you're working from home and you're making your money in the daytime in the market, moving as a system and as a unit is moving through that system. So every day you touching insurmountable amounts of bread, you're doing it as a collective. That's going back in the pot, gaining interest. You know what I'm saying? You're doing, you know, what the banks would be doing with money that they got in the bank, which is the fractional reserving. That's what it sounds like you're talking about, digital fractional reserving. And the beauty of that as well is that when you get back into farming and we get back into production, you learn that you can take one plant and fraction it and grow 10 plants from that. So with one seed, you're actually looking at 100 plants. Like, how could we go wrong?
Only by your own demand. Because I mean, it's so sweet right now, especially for entrepreneurs, brother. Blue. I mean, we were speaking the other day. 2020, considering the circumstances, has been, man, very giving,
Amazing.
very giving. Right now, I feel that it's time for any and everybody to find out what their niche is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that's without work right now, find out what you can do, whatever God-given skill you got, to where you don't even got to go back to work when this thing opens up. That's one reason why I'm showing individuals what I'm showing them. Not so much. I don't promise riches and all that. I don't promote checking back. I mean, let me not say that. I really don't though. I promote more so knowledge base. And I want people to understand and be able to operate in this space in the capacity of a bank. So it's more so banking than it is just, hey, buy Bitcoin and sell it at $20,000. That's not my outlook. I'm looking at this as being a new currency. So I got a saying, it ain't about the dollar amount, it's only about the coin count. Thing is, it's like Pokemon, you got to get as many as you can. Don't just settle for one Bitcoin. If you can, multiply that Bitcoin. I mean, they got man, you can go over here on atomic loans, right? And if you got Bitcoin, you can put your Bitcoin on a hardware wallet. You don't even have to put it on the internet. You can put it on a hardware wallet and get a non-custodial Bitcoin backed loan. So if I got one Bitcoin, I can put it on this platform, put it on my hardware wallet, connect it, and then borrow enough money to go buy me another half of Bitcoin. Now this is the slick thing, and this is something that I figured out myself, and I'm gonna give y'all a jewel. Take that Bitcoin, put it right back into your savings. Use that as collateral and get enough money to go and get another half of Bitcoin. Put that back in there again. Is really what you're doing is leveraging. You understand what I mean? You looping your compounding. But you got the ability to do that with the touch of a hand, touch of your fingers. I was listening to a podcast last night called Bankless, man, and they basically said people don't understand the power and the magic that they got at their fingertips right now. And I've been playing in this world for a couple of years now, and I'm not giving this up for anything in the world. You know what I mean? I ain't giving this up for nothing in the world, man. I done got a lot of easy money out here in Chicago, but it ain't never been nothing to this magnitude and this ease. You know what I mean? Nothing like this.
Right.
Nothing like this. Not to get too complicated, they got here where you can build your own decentralized combos where I can start, right? I can do a flash loan, borrow money, get interest, swap it out, and then pay it back, keeping the interest all in one swap. Even with my savings account, I can instantly swap out my collateral and compound. So let's just say that I did have all my funds in stablecoin, but I see Ethereum about to make a move. This is the equivalent of you having a bank account, the bank also dealing with gold and silver, and you being able to call the bank account up and be like, hey, Wells Fargo, I got 1,500 in the bank. I want you to move 500, put it in the gold. I think gold's gonna make a move. And they move it into gold, gold makes a move, and then you call them back like, okay, it made the move, I got my profit, move it back over into my savings account and stabilize. That's what I'm able to do over here in this decentralized finance, just by the push of a button. So I can swap out any one of these at any time that I want to and stabilize my whole account if I want. Right now, I'm looking at the market in an uptrend, so I want to maximize off of that. You know what I mean? And basically, what I'm telling you is you're able to grow your savings account. basically trade within your savings without having to move anything. And it's all built through coding.
Mm.
Ah, for the Forex traders, right? Because somebody was asking about Forex earlier. You do have a synthetic Forex market over here where I'm able to trade in synthetic gold, silver, cryptos, Forex pairs. Let me pull that up real quick. In fact, this is real interesting for individuals that do want to gain exposure to silver, but can't quite find the silver. If exposure to the money is all you want, you can come over here and easily, no, that's not what I want. Synthetic. You can trade in synthetic silver instead of actually having to go buy spot silver or actually finding physical silver. So meaning that if silver makes a move to the upside, you're able to profit off of that move. Let me see. Go to start trading now. And this is the synthetics exchange market, which does have a proof of stake currency that backs it, which is a oh man, I didn't even get into the passive income, brother. Hold on, let me pull one up. I know we're running on time already. Let me pull it up. You got another whole other aspect of this space called proof of stake currency, which works in the same capacity of dividends. Whereas from you holding certain cryptocurrencies, you're giving back a certain staking reward, which you can look at as a dividend reward. So here we go. We got Synthetics Network Token, right? Right now they're giving back 51.72% APR, right? Or APY, excuse me. So if we go down here and we use the calculator and we just crunch some numbers real quick and we look for Synthetics Network Token, let's say we bought 1,000 of them. Right now at 82 cents, it's going to be $823. On the daily, you're going to earn 1.41 SNX, which is $1.17. On the weekly, 9.9, which is $8.19. On the monthly, 43.09, which is $35. And yearly, you're going to bring back $425.91 off an $800 investment. Now, this is the thing. This is the thing I want individuals to understand, that with the fluctuation of this, these can change. It can go up and it can go down. And it can go down. But when we go and we look at SNX on the chart, which you always want to back everything up on the chart, people always ask, well, how do you know when to invest? Well, we're above that 20-day moving average right now. So we're looking for price action to continue up. Came back down, you tested it, you found support, we can continue moving to the upside. So, okay, if I'm expecting this to go back up, we were just trading at $1.50, which, I mean, when we entered this coin, it was at around 24 cents. So, you know, we made X amount off it. It dipped down. Now you're seeing that retracement on the move back up. If we go back and we look at the possibility of this going to 80 cents back up to what, $1.50, $1.60, that's almost double your money. So you put in 800. When it doubles, you bring back another 800 just based off your initial investment. But that also doubles the amount of dividend reward you get. So that 400 monthly now goes to 800. Yearly now goes to 800 yearly return. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is a whole nother aspect of the game. Now, this isn't trading or nothing. This is just you sitting on the currency. And what this platform is doing is you putting your currency in there and staking it. You're helping to back up. You're helping to back up this synthetics exchange market. So these cents, as they call them, are created based off of the synthetics network token that you're staking in your wallet. I think I got to connect my wallet. But yeah, the possibilities over here are really endless, brother. Really, really, really. Any questions?
Yes, people are requesting if you can recommend any books that have this information, or, you know, like, where can they learn more about the terminology? The language is something that people are really trying to grasp.
Man, really. Okay, the language that's used here is the same language that's used in traditional finance. So this is a basis. You want to study business law, study secured loans. When you understand the terminology from the traditional, it's going to spill over into the crypto or the decentralized non-traditional. Now, as far as books, I got a beginner's book called The Enigma Puzzle. The enigma behind Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, which also comes with a free 30-minute consultation for anybody that's interested. And it does give a breakdown of what Bitcoin is, what cryptocurrency is, the different protocols, proof of work, proof of stake. What else? I break down how the banks work, what a bank run is. It's a proper introduction, and it allows you to create a foundation, and then the 30-minute consultation follow-up allows them to build on top of that foundation. So anyone that's interested, they can hit the email at spccreditor@protonmail.com. That's spccreditor at protonmail.com.
Wait, what is it again?
spccreditor at protonmail.com. So it's a term that I created based off of the secure party process, but I'm a secure party crypto creditor because what I do is secure loans with cryptocurrency. I'm a creditor. So it all ties in. And I actually have a book based off of that, explaining the whole secure party process from a decentralized cryptocurrency aspect, not so much from the collateralizing your birth certificate, which when you look at this, this is the exact same thing. So anybody that's familiar with the whole, and I don't want to get into all that, but the whole birth certificate process, what you're doing is collateralizing and securitizing your birth certificate when you do that whole authentication process. That's why you're able to not so much withdraw, but create a bond against it, and then use that bond to discharge and offset debt. It's the same thing that I'm doing over here. It ties in perfect. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with what I'm speaking on.
Right. Some people may be. They also asked, what are the top 3 exchanges?
Binance, Bittrex, maybe Gemini. Top exchanges: Binance, Bittrex, Gemini, Polynex. Even though Polynex kind of fell off. FTX. You have Bybit. Don't forget you got decentralized exchange markets over here as well. So when I come back over and I look at my DeFi Prime list, right, and I look at trading, you got Bancore, DexAG, DYDX, JellySwap, KyberSwap, Market Protocol, Nuo Network, REN, Set Protocol. There's a number of different decentralized applications where you can do atomic swaps. In fact, a real interesting wallet that individuals can download is the Atomic Wallet. The Atomic Wallet allows you to do atomic swaps. So for anybody just starting off, if you're just buying Bitcoin through the Cash App, you can only buy Bitcoin. If you want to transact and send that or exchange it for another currency, withdraw it from Cash App, send it to your personal wallet, and then exchange it within that personal wallet through the use of an atomic, swap it out for whatever currency is available on that wallet, which they got about 100 different currencies on that wallet that you can swap it out with.
Right. Okay, and of course, they want to know
I do teach everything that I've spoken on today. I do teach from charting to trading to decentralized finance, in-house digital banking. I teach all that hands-on for anyone that's interested.
How can they get in more information on that?
Definitely follow me on Instagram, on IG, Chicago_crypto_block_bully. You can hit my DM. Once again, the same email. In fact, you can actually hit the link in my IG to take you to my website. In fact, let me see if I can get that real quick. Let me see if I can get the link to my website and share it on. Can they hit links on Facebook if you share it in the chat?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I'll try it anyways. I'll throw a link to my website in the chat and see if it allows them to hit it or not. Let me see. Let me find it. There we go. And I do hope that the information that I shared today with the family was helpful in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, I know it definitely was. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They got more than their money's worth. Whatever that
Definitely.
is.
If anybody wants to hit the Cash App too, you can hit the Cash App.
You got a Cash App?
Yeah. Bitcoin Bully 444.
All right, let me.
Bitcoin Bully 444 for anybody that wants to send any type of gratitude towards me.
Right. And our brother is a fellow 44 resonator. You want to give him some information on that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Just fortunate enough that I was born on the 4th day of the 4th year, the 84th month. So definitely a 444 resonator. Even deeper than that, mob ties with the number correlating with the 4, the diamond. It definitely goes deep. Even with the Bitcoin, when I looked at my natal chart, and I've shared this before, in my natal chart, there was an asteroid by the name of, oh man, I done forgot it now. What is it? It's a Greek goddess, but it's also the name of a cafe that's at the bottom of the Chicago Board of Exchange and Commission, which was the first institutional platform to introduce Bitcoin trading to institutional money, Chicago. So me being a
Right.
Chicago crypto hustler, it was really in my natal chart for me to be dealing with Bitcoin, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It ain't no strange happenings anymore.
That's
And
right.
also, for those that don't know, Bitcoin runs off the BIP 44. You know what I mean?
Somebody,
It's a lot of 44 energy in here.
a whole lot in it. Ain't nothing but 44 energy in it. And Satoshi is allegedly 44 right now.
Dig that. Dig that.
Dig
Somebody
that.
in there saying Bitcoin is gonna crash. I mean, that's cool. Hey, everything crashes and comes back up. I mean, I'm not telling anybody to even to get in this. I'm just telling y'all that it's a whole financial, monetary, and banking system being built over here under our noses, and I want y'all to be privy to it. You just understand
The
it. That's
man
it.
is telling you how you can create your own bank, how you can create a fractional reserve of money out of thin air. You dig what I'm saying? And how to adjust your mind to looking at the currency system is going through a reset. You can't go backwards, it's going forward. You might as well get in the beginning to have a mental understanding, because you're going to be one out of a million of people who do when it happens, which will now give you a whole nother leverage, because now you can teach everyone who don't know why they just woke up broke one day, and what the new game is. So we need soldiers, you know what I'm saying, in this particular movement. Like I said, even if we were thinking as a smart network, we can put a club together and just be running it, just running it up. We're just running the tab up like exponentially and sending loans to one another, and just, I mean, the possibilities is endless. But
He said, "Can you tokenize cannabis? You can tokenize any physical asset.
anything.
You can tokenize any physical asset." And I see the
Any
same individual that was saying Bitcoin is going to crash and speaking highly of Ripple when I just showed you Ripple that brought back 3 years of consecutive losses. So, take that with a grain of salt.
hey. Yeah, but they got enough free game for the day, man. I do appreciate you coming through,
Man,
and
no problem, man.
really,
I appreciate you extending your hand and y'all
look,
allowing me even access to y'all family.
let me qualify like this, because last night episode, if the family didn't catch Tough Talk Tuesdays, you definitely want to go back in there and listen to that first, and then listen to this, and realize the promise that it represents. You know what I'm saying? Because at times a lot of people don't know about all of the new things that are here and they're available, so they only see the bleakness that they can see outside of their window. In terms of what's taking place with a crashing system, not knowing that there's a new one that's emerging right underneath it. So we was reading some statistics and some figures last night, to really make sense of what it is that we was talking about. So I'll go through some of them real quick before you leave, just to give the people an idea of why today's show was so important. Okay.
No problem.
There's a record 103,415,000 people in this country not in the labor force, right? There's only 330 million people in this country. So what they're telling you in essence is one out of every three quote unquote Americans are not part of the labor force, right? They say the nation's labor force participation rate reached a 47-year low of 60.2% in April, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, as the number of people not in the labor force jumped by 6,570,000 to a record 103 million. The participation rate has now dropped 2.5% points since March, and it is at as low as it's been since the 60.0% recorded in June of 73, right? They say the number of employed Americans have broken 25 records under President Trump, something he has frequently repeated on the campaign trail. At the same time, a record 23 million Americans were unemployed in April, 15,938,000 more than in March. Consequently, the unemployment rate reached a whopping 14.7% last month, the highest rate and the largest month-to-month increase. So when unemployment reaches 16% in this country, I believe, that's when they say that it's a bona fide, Great Depression or what have you. But it's on pace to not only reach that, but exceed it. And they said that the federal debt topped 25 trillion for the first time, and it jumped 1 trillion in just 28 days. The debt of the federal government topped 25 trillion for the first time on Tuesday. On Wednesday, it continued to climb, reaching 25 point. Oh, la, 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 la. So, I mean, long story short, family, there's an unprecedented amount of debt that this country is taking on, and the dollar is weakening every time that they print up another $1 trillion to create even more debt. So inflation is going to hit. You know what I'm saying? Unemployment is spiking. The homelessness issue is going to be one that's crazy right now because the rental market is cracking at the seams and the housing market is about to crash. So the best news that we can share is the information that helps people that don't have access to jobs or money how to create jobs for themselves and how to create money out of thin air. And with that said, like I said, peace, love, and light. If you can't figure it out from that point, right, that's leading them to the water. If you can't drink, I mean, our job over here is done. I'm talking about.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Once again, I thank you, brother, for the platform. I thank everybody for allowing me to their ear to listen in on it.
Yeah, salute. Thank you for bringing forth that information, that wisdom that's worth millions of dollars as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean?
No
So
doubt, no doubt.
the world.
Glad I'm able to bring it to y'all, man. Y'all have a nice one.
Indeed. Peace, God.